Usijevunje katika, baby show me reality, somebody direct you where you love me, no one like you, I don't like you, Baka falala, 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 baka falala. Pamina shiba, kuna jikaona pe, cheka zigani kijiba, wapenzi kama mchele, ekusiwali madida, nyonde mwana, usijevunje katika, baby show me reality, somebody direct you where you love me, no one like you, I don't like you, baka falala, 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 baka falala. Pamina shiba, kuna jikaona pe, cheka zigani kijiba, wapenzi kama mchele, ekusiwali madida, nyonde mwana, usijevunje katika, baby show me reality, somebody direct you where you love me.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome to Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Let me get ready. Today, my show is about living and surviving in the United States of America. You know, when I do my classes, I focus on Liberia because that's my orientation. That's where I was born. That's where I got my education. That's where I grew up, mostly. My second home is America. But for my people coming from Liberia, we need help. We need dire help. Our nation, our people, we need help. So this is what I focus on Liberia. I try to elevate the knowledge, the life experiences, the struggles of my people, to make us aware of those things we need to be aware of. that can possibly help us change our lives, improve our lives, make us live better. So this is why I do my class and focus on Liberia. Excuse me, if you hear any noise in the background, there's construction outside my house. So it's been going on for almost a month now. But please bear with me. So this is why I do my class. So that we can know things. And my class about living and surviving in America today is because there are many Liberians and people all over the world who want to come to America. They see it as a dream. They see it as the problems being resolved, all the issues being resolved when they come to America. But that is far from the truth. And you got to know the truth. Because coming to America has its challenges as well as its benefits. So let me go through some of my life experiences for you and let you know what you can expect, okay, if you want to come to America. First of all, you got to know yourself. There are various types of people that come to America. Let's look at them. We have the young people that come to America who their parents bring. When your parents bring you to America, usually you have no problem if you're small. If you're a minor, usually you have no problem. The problem rests with your parents. They got to get you into school. They got to make way for you to survive and live in this country until you become 18 years of age or 21 years of age to fend for yourself. Until you reach those ages, your parents are responsible for you, your elders. If they can't take care of you, the state that you live in will step in and take you into its care. They may put you in foster homes. They may put you in a state-run facility. Okay? It depending on your behavior, your growth and outlook, and all those things. If you're a juvenile with criminal issues, they put you in a training school in Rhode Island. That's the prison for young children. You go there and you do your time. Okay? Because under the law, when you commit certain crimes, now they don't look at you as a minor. They look at the crime you commit. If it's a crime committed by an adult and you are a minor, but you have the intelligence, you have the brilliance to think like a minor, like an adult, you will be tried as an adult. So don't think that you're under 18 now, you can commit crime and get away with it. No, it doesn't happen no more. They evaluate the crime according to your maturity. Is he mature enough to understand the gravity of his actions? Yes, if you mature enough, they will try you as an adult. You can be 16 years old, you can be 16, 17 years old. They will try you as an adult because you understand the gravity of your action. Let me give you an example. Driving. A lot of kids can drive, especially kids who live on farms. They have their parents run the farm. They can drive pickers, they can drive tractors, they can drive any kind of machinery. Those kids, they may be 12 years old, they may be 11 years old, they may be 20 years old. Once they can operate those machinery, they are held to the standards of men and women who are trained to run those machinery. So if those children run those machinery and they kill people or they damage property, they will not be held as minors. They will be held to the standards of people who operate those machineries with the kind of maturity and understanding that they have when they operate those machinery. Safety, self-containment, restriction, and all of that. So when you're a minor and you're doing things as an adult, you will be held to that standard. So when you come into America and you're a minor, your parents are responsible for you. They're responsible for every aspect of your survival. Okay? So we're not worried about that. That is not a part of my teaching, young children. I'm looking at people who come to America as adolescents or adults, either 18 years old or above. Okay, there's a different standard. Everybody won't come to America, but you got to know yourself, especially if you are an adult or an adolescent going into adulthood. You got to know yourself, okay? Because there are two kinds of people that will come here. One are people who have family members here. If you come to America and you come to a family that is established in America, when I say established, what I mean, your mom and your pa got a job, they got a house, or they're renting, that your family is stable, they're not facing financial issues, they may not be rich, but they're not poor. They're surviving in America. Both of them got jobs. They got good jobs. They go out and come home. What are good jobs? Decent enough for you to make a living, pay your rent, pay your bill, and have their bill to go out and have fun. Go take your family to the movies, take your children to Six Flags amusement center once in a while. That's good living. You don't have to be rich. You can be comfortable. Okay? So if you have that kind of family and you come from Liberia and they're understanding, they have made arrangement for you. You come from Liberia with your degree, or you don't have no degree. You got family. They can help you establish yourself. They can help you get a job. They can direct you in the right places to help you find your way to survive in this country. Okay? So that one group of people, you got family. Now, there's a second group of people who are like me. I came to this country, yes. I have family. I'm not connected to none of my power people. Okay? Yes, we are brothers and sisters. We relate to each other. But none of my brothers and sisters ever supported me. Okay? They never really took care of me. Okay? We related and all of that, but we don't have that kind of relationship where my brother would give me money and my sister would give me money and say, no, no. Maybe if I asked her, she would do it, but I never really did that kind of thing, go around begging my sister that, yes, if I really need it, I would call one or two and then say, well, you can give me $50 or $60. And, I'll do the same thing. But that's not something I do. Okay? If I do it, you will know I already jam. But I don't do it. And I came to a family. My mom didn't know America. My mom was struggling to survive. She needed help. She needed me to come to this country to help her. So when I came to this country, I had nobody to help me. Like other people, I had nobody to show me the ropes, what to do, how to do it. And although I was educated, the country was overwhelming for me. You come to a strange country, you got to learn the ropes. You got to learn where to go, how to do it, how to access things. If you don't know where to go, you wouldn't know what to do. And in the community, like the Liberian community, we got people in the community who can help you, but they can only help you so much. And for a man like me with a law degree, I came educated. I came with a law degree with things. People could help me, but most of them could not help me to the extent that I needed. Many of the people I knew were working in the factory, working in nursing homes, and things like that. Those are the only places that could direct me. Okay, they didn't know people higher up that could help me. Those that could help me, who were higher up, expected me to do things for them. Okay? That one of the men who helped me, he expected me to marry his daughter, one of his daughters. And that wasn't my dream. His daughters were not compatible with me in terms of my dreams and my aspirations and things like that. They weren't thinking along that line. So even though he sort of helped me, not financially, but socially, he sort of helped me. But I couldn't commit myself to doing what he wanted me to do, marry a daughter. No, that wasn't my ambition. I had other dreams. I had my own dreams. Okay, not to come and because somebody helped me, I will commit myself to being with their family. No, that wasn't what I came to America for. Okay, I came to help my country, to advance myself so I can help my people in the country that was dying and is still dying. Okay, so that was where I was. I didn't have anybody to really help me. Yeah, my mom may have wanted to help me, but she didn't know what to do herself. You know, she wasn't up there. She didn't know people up there. The few people she knew were in the church and those she associated with in the community. And, you know, those people could only help me so far and no further. Some of them just made promises to me. And, oh, I will do this, I will do that. I know this person. And when they went to talk to the people they knew, the people didn't have interest in me. Okay? Even though I was educated, I wasn't American educated. Even if they got me, they would have to train me and want to know whether I can relate to the American community and society. Because coming from Liberia and Africa, our thinking, mentality, behavior, everything, our view on life, everything different from the people in this country. And you better know that. So when I came, I didn't have nobody. It's just like having nobody to help you, man. So I ended up like most of the Liberians that were in Rhode Island, working in nursing home, working in a different area because everywhere I went to look for job, when I submitted my application, I think they tell you, oh, when you come to America, you can do this. When I submitted my application things, the people look at it and tell me, oh, you don't know our culture. You don't know our society. When they hear your voice and they ask you questions and you can't relate to the culture and society. And that's right. If you come from Africa, you can't relate to the culture, you got to learn it. You got to learn it. Because even though we think like US, like America, we're totally different. When I came, I had to learn to understand the white people. Some of them talk differently. I mean, I told the people were speaking different language. I had to pay keen attention to the white people. So when you come from America, Liberia, don't think you understand the white people. Some of the white people, you will not understand them. You think you're in a foreign country. You think they're talking different languages. You got to sit down and listen to the white people good. So there are challenges we have. Though when I came here, I didn't have nobody. So one day what helped me was I didn't even have anybody to help me because I didn't know nobody. Who you go talk to, man? You know? So one day I was sitting down working in a house, nursing home, taking care of a woman children, retired children. When this guy from the military, her boyfriend came, he was jealous too. I think he was jealous too because you had this young, healthy man sitting down with his wife, with his girlfriend taking care of her children. And she's young and fine, and I'm a young man. So when he came, he saw me there. He looked after she left. She said, "My man, what are you doing here?" So I said, "What do you mean, my man? I can't find no job. I just came from Africa and all of that." He said, "No, my man, join the army." He said, "Join the army." He said, "That's a different society, man." He said, "Even if you stay in the army 1 year, even if you sign up for 1 year, it will change your life in this country." I said, "What do you mean by it will change my life?" He said, "Man, that's a different society. You will learn." He said, "The thing you will learn in the army, you will never learn it in the regular society." He said, "You don't got nobody here." He said, "Look at the work you're doing. Hefty man like you're sitting there minding somebody, baby, and you start educated." He said, "My man, no way in this country going in the army. The people will value you there." He said, "You see me, I came from Puerto Rico, I went in the army." He said, "Now I understand this country." He said, 1 year you understand the country. I said, "Okay." That guy talked to me that night. The next day, I was at the military station. I signed up. The next week, I was on the bus going to FedEx in New Jersey to train, basic training. That changed my life, man. It changed my life. When I got in the military, it was a different life for me, man. My people, it was a different life. First of all, I was scared as hell. I didn't know what I was getting into. When you get there, they rough you up, man. Just getting out of the bus. They had us doing push-ups, man. You last to get out of the bus, you're doing push-ups. People are jumping out of the window. You got 2, 3 seconds or minutes to get out of the bus. And that bus is packed. You better get out of that bus, man. People are jumping out of the window. Everything. The last man out, you're doing push-ups. Starting from 20. So that's where the training started, man. But as we went on, you get into it. You get to love it. You get to love it. But I tell you one thing. People are afraid to go to the army. If you're healthy and you come to this country, you got no family member, you by yourself, go to the army. Go to the army. You will learn about America more than anywhere else. It will take you 1 year, you will learn about America so much, you will appreciate it when you leave the army. That's why even to today, nobody saw me in Rhode Island. They didn't know me. When I came in Rhode Island, I had been to the army, I had done reserve training, everything, and I came to Rhode Island. Some of the things they did to me in Rhode Island here, the racist thing, the thing the black people did to me here to hurt me, they thought they were hurting me. I already knew it because they had done it to me in the army. I will tell you some of the things that happened to me in the U.S. Army, man. They had done it to me in the army because the army is a makeup of every American from everywhere in America. You serve with people from everywhere in America. So all their habits, all their cultural behaviors, you will learn it in the army. When you leave the army, there will be nothing people will do to you outside you will not know already. You will not have experience and work. You see? And let me tell you something. The good thing about America is that just as much as they got people that hate you because of your culture, of your race, or your education, don't think because you're educated in America, you make it in America, in Liberia, or somewhere else, you make it easy in America. No, you will not make it easy. So many days I feel scared I got education. And I said, wow, I got educated. Because I'm too educated even for some of the people here. They try to hurt me. When you're educated, everything is competition in this country. Job, promotion, everything is competition. When you're educated, you are a threat to people. You are a threat to people. I'm a threat to many people. Everywhere I go, as soon as they hear about my education, I'm a threat. Because everything is money and job in this country. That all money rules this world. And your job, your position, everything, that money. Don't think because you're educated, you come in here, people will love you. No, some people will love you if you make money for them. If you do things to promote them, they will love you. But other people want your job. Other people will do everything to get your job. And we talk about all of that, man. So I went into the army, right? Everything. The first thing in the army was my mistake was you can't be too educated in the army. Army is not a place for too educated people. If you're educated, you gotta have the rank and position to match with your education because in the army, you follow orders. You're not there to question people. You're not there to question your superiors. I had to learn that. And they punished me for that. Because you remember if you people watched the Tiananmen Square incident in China, when the Chinese students, years back, I think that was 2003, I can't remember what year it was, but when the students in China demonstrated and all of them came into Tiananmen Square, the Chinese center area, and they were protesting, and the government sent the military there, and they flocked those students. They flogged them, they killed some of them, they beat them, they arrested them, and they were interviewing one. They were interviewing one of the students after the incident, and he said that before Tiananmen Square, everything we used to ask, why this, why that. He said now after Tiananmen Square incident, we don't ask no why no more. We do exactly tell them. I was laughing because I checked what happened to me in the army. Just what happened to me in the army. When I went into the army, everything was why. Why? My sergeant tell me to do this. I didn't go in as an officer because I didn't go to school in America. So when I went to the army, people lied to me too. The enlisted men wanted people to sign up to go to the army. And they told me I wanted to go into the legal area. I didn't know too much about the army. I didn't inquire none to anybody. I know anybody who was in the army that could teach me. But the people that I asked at the recruiting center, they had to meet their quota. So they needed medics. So when I took the test, I didn't qualify high enough. The test is the high school test. So I had been out of high school for many years. So I passed the test, but I didn't score high enough to do the kind of job I wanted to do. So I had medics and anything under that, you know. So I said, okay, well, until I take the test over, because they asked me, there's a test you got to study. I didn't really study. I just thought I could go and do the test. I passed it, but you got to score high. So I had to take the test again. I had to buy the book and do the research and everything. But before I did that, I wanted to go in the army. So they told me, well, you can't go into the JAG era right now because you got to be a lawyer. But they didn't tell me about law clerk. But the army needed medic. So they wanted to get me in as a medic. They didn't care about me being wanted to be a law clerk. They wanted to fill their quota. So they told me, oh man, you just go in as a medic. You learn the medical field. You'll be able to treat people. Then when you go to your unit, you can ask your unit to transfer you into the legal area because you got a law degree. So I said, well, okay, let me learn about the medical field too, because I already was in the medical field in nursing homes and things here. So I said, well, let me just learn about it once and for all. So I signed up to be a medic. And thank God I signed up to be a medic because I was thinking about going hardcore in the military and going infantry. Lord, when I saw what the infantry guys went through while I was in the army, I said, God, thank you, I didn't do infantry. What? That's the backbone of the army. You guys walk, they trek, they're kind of living different, man. I said, Lord, thank God I didn't do infantry. I wanted to do infantry. Somebody said, no, just go to the medical field. And the medical field could have been just as bad. Because as a medic, you are a support unit. That means they attach medics to every unit. So, like me, I was a medic, but I was attached to field artillery. So, whatever the field artillery unit did, I did. Even though I had my own tent, when we were in the field, I had my own car, I had my own tent. My tent was a medic. My car was something called a gamma goat. It was like a train. It was like two pickups put together. Only me and my partner used to drive it. I used to drive, and the other medics sit by me. We two going, and that thing was long. It was long. It was like a truck, but it was not high like a truck, but it was long because we had a medical bed in there. It was a medical station. In the back of it, we had a medical bed. We had all medical things on the wall, on the wall of the car, on the tarpaulin, and all of that. We had all the medical things hanging up. So it was a complete medical station. Okay, when I drive behind the field artillery, they would park one side. I would park a little way away from them and set up my tent. Open my car, put my bed up, put all my equipment up. I'm a medical center. Then I start checking the men. Every morning, I check the men 2 times a day. 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening, I do my rounds. I go through all the whole camp, make sure all the men okay. My job is to preserve the fighting strength of the army. Okay? So once you can fight, you stay. I'm not sending you back. You got to fight. So that was my job to evaluate people, to do triage. Okay, who will stay, who will go back in the rear when there's fighting and people get injured. That's my job to do triage and all of that. So I had to do all of that. Okay? And to do that, you got to be a soldier. You can't be asking why. Man, they tolerated me for the first 2 weeks. After that, my man, They wanted to take my rank. They wanted to punish me. What? That's when education counted. Man, the captain in my unit and my sergeant wanted to punish me, man. You know, I was a corporal. I was a specialist. Specialists are people who run offices. That's why they got two type of corporals in the military. If you are a corporal and you got a stripes, you control men. Corporals control men. I was a corporal too, but they call us specialists. I do not control men. I run the offices. Okay, the military offices. We are people. We are administrative people. That's what they call us specialists. Okay, but I'm the same corporal. I have the same rank, but I do not control men. Men do not salute me. The privates do not salute me. They can talk to me. They respect me as a corporal, but they do not salute me. They salute the corporals who wear the strap. I'm a specialist, even though I'm a corporal, but I'm a specialist. I work in a different area. So that is distinguish the office people from the field people. So I was in the office area, and that's how we work. And that's how you get your experience. So you guys wanted to punish me, take my rank and everything. But you see, God bless me. The people at the legal office wanted me to work with them. They had requested me for so many times. But my unit had said, this man is serving at the need of the military. That means the military needed medics. And although I was a lawyer, they couldn't let me go to training because the needs of the military superseded my personal need. And I understood that. So I did my job. And my colonel was good enough to explain it to me. My colonel, who was Colonel Dennis Klein, was one of the nicest people that really educated me. You see, and that's why I tell you, you have those people that will not like you because they feel you're a challenge to them because your education, your training, and you're a foreigner and all of that. But you have those other people who will respect you because of your education, because of your knowledge, because of your experience, and they will help you. They will teach you. So that was the great about America. You see, you got different kind of people in this country, and you got to meet everybody on their own footing. You can't group everybody into one basket and say, "Oh, they're all bad or they're all good." No. Same thing with black people. You can't put all black people in one basket and say, all Africans and say, "Oh, they're bad or they did." No. You deal with people on a one-on-one basis and evaluate people according to their dealings with you. And that's how you improve and grow. And that what happened to me in the military. Okay. Now, one of the challenging things in the military, I had many challenging things in the military. Because as an educated man, I felt that I could teach people. But there are certain things you can do and certain things you can't do, even as an educated man, under certain circumstances. In the military, you can do certain things and you cannot do certain things. Okay? One of the things I learned the hard way is that my idea of education is different from the people in the military. Okay? I wrote poems, I published poems. I started doing it in my unit. Every day, every other week, I used to publish a poem and distribute it for people to read. And most of my poems are Black oriented, you know, encouraging Black people to take care of their lives, to build better lives, to get educated, to advance themselves. Most of my poems were about that. And everybody don't like those kind of poems. So one day I decided to publish a poem by another Liberian called Ken Ballantyne. When I used to publish my poems in Liberia, Ken called me and said, "Man, I want to publish my poem with you." So I said, okay. And he started giving me, making donation to my booklets. So he gave me a few poems to publish of his, and I published it. And one of it I liked very much was called Black Man. That poem was very controversial. First of all, it pointed out all the negative things that black people did that he felt were detrimental to our survival as black people and advancement as black people, like perming our hair, you know, trying to color our skin, to cream our skin, make it look white, and those things, that other people of other cultures do to beautify themselves. He was saying that if we do those same things, we are losing our roots. We are not beautifying ourselves. We are diminishing our beauty. So that what he was trying to say, but he was pointing all these negative things that we're doing. So at first when I read the poem myself, I had mixed feelings. I said, what are you trying to say? Then the more I read it, the more I fell in love with the poem because it was realistic. It was pointing out all the things we're doing that didn't really bring out what we were, but brought out what other people felt was beautiful to them. And he was saying, no, we got to find beauty in ourselves. God gave all of us a type of beauty. And until we find out what our beauty is, we never achieve the total satisfaction of beautifying ourselves. And I got that. So I published that poem in the military, man. Do you know the black guys didn't like that poem? All the black soldiers didn't like that poem. All the black soldiers got together and went to a white captain and convinced this man to charge me with racism against the black people, against the black race. Can you imagine that? This day, early in the morning, 7 o'clock before we did roll call, I was in my room sleeping. I heard the knock at the door, boom, boom, boom. I said, who's that? He said, Captain so-and-so. I finished forgetting his name. Captain, was it? It wasn't Captain Finger. It was Captain, I can't remember the captain name. He said, Captain so-and-so. So I said, yes, sir. I opened the door. When I opened the door, the captain was standing in the middle with 4 guards around him, 4 black soldiers around him. So he said, Specialist Chesson, get dressed. So I put on my uniform jacket. He said, front and center. I stepped in the front of the door. Then he said, you are being charged with racism against the black race. Fall in. I said, what? I look at him. I said, racism against the black race. He said, yes. He stepped back. I fell in. The 4 guys fell around me. They turned around to march me down the stairs. We're on the 3rd floor. They had to march me to the 1st floor, to the colonel office, for him to officially charge me with racism against the black race. I thought I was in a nightmare. It was 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it was 6:30 in the morning. All the soldiers were lined up in the building, were there for roll call. Were doing roll call in the building that morning. There were almost like 1,000 soldiers in the building, all along the wall. And as they were carrying me downstairs to charge me with racism against the black race, all the white soldiers were clapping. Yeah, get him, get him, get him. All of them were clapping, get him. I felt like Jesus Christ being prosecuted. I couldn't believe that would happen to me. My own people charging me with racism against the black race. I said, we had to come down from the 3rd floor. They were bringing me down the 3rd floor. They didn't handcuff me. They just were bringing me down to charge me before they handcuffed me. So we're all coming down the stairs. And all along the stairs were soldiers, dressed, clapping. Yeah, get him, get him, get him, get him. Yeah, get him. Because all of them had read my poem. So they brought me all the way downstairs to the colonel office. I just was asking Jesus, I said, what is going on? I kept asking Jesus, what is going on, Jesus? We walked in the colonel office. When we got there, the colonel was sitting to his desk. He turned around. He saw the captain and me. He said, the captain saluted him, sir. All of us saluted him, sir. Then he said, at ease, order a drop. Then the captain stepped in front. He said, why are you here? He said, I'm here to charge Specialist Chesson with racism against the black race. The colonel said, "What? Are you fucking stupid? Get the fuck out of my office." Oh, when I look, I saw the captain and all the four bodyguards running out of the office. I turned to leave. He said, "No, Chesson, don't leave. Come here." So I turned around and said, "Yes, sir." I saluted him. He said, "Sit down." I sat down by him. He said, "Take the dictionary." I took the dictionary. He said, "Define racism. Prejudice against another race." He said, "Chesson, you know more than these people. Don't think because these people got rank and things like that, they know more than you." He said, "This thing this man did just now, he doesn't know what you are doing." He said, "But writing poems, this is not the place for poems. This is the military. So I order you not to write poems no more." Okay? I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "From now on, you don't write no poems." He said, "The education you got, these people don't got it yet." He said, "You are educated." He said, "Don't think you're not educated." He said, "Half the people here are not educated like you. They don't understand where you're coming from. So when you write those kind of things, it get misinterpreted." He said, "Look at the captain all bringing you for racism against the black race." He didn't know what he was doing. He said, so from that day, me and the colonel became like this. When that man advised me, he said, "Chesson," he said, "don't mind the people here." He said, "You're educated." He said, "I know you're educated." I didn't know that man wanted to promote me. And the people were telling the man, "No, no, 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 no. Don't promote Chesson. Don't promote Chesson. Chesson for Africa, you know." So one day the colonel got ready to leave, but he couldn't leave because we didn't have no law clerk. Our law clerk had left the unit and come back overseas. So there was a lot of legal work because every day we're punishing people. Every day the captains and things were writing punishment, and nobody was doing. For you to be punished, somebody had to do the legal work. There was nobody to do it. I was the only one trained to do the work, and they didn't want to give me the job because I wanted to go for training. After I came in the army, everything, I wanted to go for training. They didn't want me to go. They said, "No, no." So there was a black woman in another part of Germany. She was an EO officer, equal opportunity officer. She was giving the white officer help for black officers who they were keeping down. So I heard about her. I called her in Stuttgart. I said, "Ma'am, I'm a lawyer. I'm in my unit. I've been wanting to go to JAG to get the formal military training. But my unit keep telling me, no, no, I can't go. It's in need of the military. I'm a medic. I got to stay as a medic." She said, "What?" She said, "You're a lawyer?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Give me your unit number." I gave her the number. She said, "Hang on." When I look, 1 hour after that, my commander called me. "Chesson, get ready. You go to JAG. You go to the legal office for training." Oh, I went to the legal office. I got my secondary training. I got 4 professions in the army. Okay? I can shoot you, I can treat you, I can prosecute you, and I can shoot you again. Okay? So I'm a medic, I'm a law clerk, I'm a soldier, and I'm a special forces. So you don't play with me. Okay? I went and got all those training. So when I went to the legal office and came back, they didn't want to give me the job. And nobody was there doing the job. So one day the colonel got tired because he had to leave. So one day we're in the field, man. We had been in the field for 1 month. When you're in the field like that, you only bathe every 2 weeks. So just imagine we had been in the field for 1 month, we had bathed twice. We were dirty and stinking like hell, man. We were training. So we're all sitting down in the tent, and the colonel came in. And let me tell you something, in the military, the US military, the colonel overseas is like the president. When the colonel entered the area, or the colonel coming to the area, general is even worse. When the general coming to your command center, we get on our knees with toothbrushes and clean the corner of the walls because you can be inspected. The military side style. People with handcuffs, with gloves on, will come inspect your room. And you better have everything clean. So we get on our knees with toothbrushes and clean all between the walls, all between the cracks of the walls. when they say general coming to visit you. Huh, they're not easy visit, man. So we're all in a tent sitting down when the colonel walk in the field. As soon as he walk in, all our students, we're about 50 in the tent, the big tents. The tent can hold about 30 people. We had these big tents, man. We're all sitting there around the fire. And the colonel walk in, everybody stood up. Brr! When we stood up, he said, at ease. Everybody sat down. As soon as the man sat down, the first thing the man said, he said, Chesson, get ready. You're going back to the rear tonight. You're going to be my new law clerk. What? My whole life changed in the army, man. The colonel made me a law clerk. You know what that means? That means everywhere the colonel go, I'm with the colonel. Everything the colonel do, I worry about the colonel. Hey, the colonel said, Chesson, get ready. You're going back to the rear tonight. You my law clerk. I said, everybody look at me in the tent because they knew they couldn't match with me no more. I was stricter with the colonel now. When he told me that, I was just smiling, man. I packed all my teeth. I put it in my bag. I jumped in the car. Whoop, I went down to the rear. As soon as I got to the rear, man, I had my office. I opened the law office. Man, you should have seen my office. Y'all know I can hustle, man. I had a couch. I had a resting chair. I had a big desk. Oh, man, you should have seen my office. The colonel walking in my office. He looked at me. He just shook his head. He said, but man, where you got all these things from? I said, Colonel, I'm in the military. He started laughing. I said, everything was in my office, man, when he came down. But not only that, man. All the work that were in that office, I cleared it in 1 month. Every punishment, every legal document, everything that was in that office, I cleared it in 1 month. I couldn't sleep. I was working from 2 o'clock in the morning. I would go to bed like 12, 1 o'clock. I woke up 2 o'clock. I would do all my legal work from 2 to 5. Then I go out for my calisthenics exercises and things like that. Then at 7 o'clock, I go eat, change my uniform, come back, jump on the computer again. And that's all I was doing all day, man. In 1 to 2 weeks, I cleared the whole office of every legal document that had to be done. The colonel was so impressed, he couldn't believe it. The guy couldn't believe it, man. The guy called me in his office. He said, Chesson, come. I went to his office. He said, my man, what you did? You helped me so much, man. I've been wanting to leave this place so much, but I can't leave because my legal office was behind. He said, and you cleared this thing in 2 weeks? He said, I will give you an award. He said, not only that, I will introduce you to the next colonel. I didn't know what that meant. That man called a special parade. He gave me the Army Achievement Medal. They had a special parade. They pinned me, the medal on me. Everybody clapped. I was sitting in my office. When I looked, he called me, man. He said, Chesson, come. I said, yes, sir. I ran there. When I ran there, the new colonel was there. He said, I want to introduce you to Colonel, what the colonel name, man? Oh, Lord, don't tell me I forget all these people's names. He was Hispanic. I will remember his name later. But he said, I want to introduce you to the colonel. And he introduced me to the colonel. He told the colonel, he said, in my 35 years of military service, this is the best law clerk I've had. The Hispanic guy looked at me, he said, yeah? He said, yeah. He said, my 35 years of military service, this is the best law clerk I've had. So I didn't know what that thing meant, man. After my colonel, Dennis Klein, left, the new colonel took me under his wing. That man started calling me son. You know what it is for a colonel to call you son? Nobody will touch you. The first time the man called me son, I didn't believe it. I was sitting in my office down the hall. The colonel came out of his office. He looked down the hall, he yelled, son! I heard it. I said, who the colonel calling son? I said, is that me? I said, no, it can't be me. Then he yelled again, son! I look, I said, let me see who the colonel calling. I put my hair on. He said, you don't hear me calling you? I said, that's me, sir. He said, son, come here. I said, yes, sir. Oh, I ran to the colonel, man. That man never let me leave his side. When the colonel in his car, I'm in the back. And only two people ride with the colonel, the XO and his driver. The XO is his executive officer. When the colonel in the front, the XO behind him, the driver there, the driver was a black guy. And what the guy name? I never forget all my people name. The driver was a black guy, man. The black guy could speak German like hell too, boy. American, but he could speak German like hell. So he and the colonel, the XO, all three of them could speak German. I joined the group. I was on the other side, behind the colonel. The colonel in front, I behind the colonel, the XO by me. Everywhere the colonel went, man, I was there. When the colonel having legal meeting, he'll call me. I whispered to him, I said, Colonel, because I was a part of the JAG officer, the Judge Advocate office. Whenever the lawyers for the JAG office are with my colonel, there was no need for me to be there because they were my superiors. But every time he with those people, he would call me. He said, Chesson, stay right here. So I would bend over to him and I would tell him in his ear, I said, Colonel, I don't need to be here. These people are my superiors. They got your back. He said, you are my law clerk. You stay back. I said, yes, sir. I stood there. I served that man because I remember he gave me the Army Commendation Medal. He commended me for my service in the Army. I got one of the highest peacetime medal any military person can have. The medal I have, the Army Commendation Medal, commending me for my service, is greater than the Good Service Medal. It's greater than most of the other medals. That's the highest peacetime medal, the Army Commendation Medal, commending me for my service. And why he gave it to me? Because I set up a system in the unit that had never been set up before. There was a soldier that came overseas, and all of them respected me in the unit because of that. Because nobody knew how to do it. And it was hurting everybody in the unit. We had one soldier, he came overseas on vacation, raped a woman, got in trouble with the law, and we couldn't get him off our roster in Germany. So because we couldn't get him off, we're always one man shot. And it was hurting one of the other units. We call them batteries, when you're in field artillery. They are not companies, they are batteries. So it was hurting one of the batteries. So we needed that man. We had gone with him for almost a year. And any shortage in a unit can hurt the unit because everybody got a task on the gun. Okay? Everybody got their their weight to pull on the gun. And if you have one man shot, that means somebody else got to pull that weight. And it was hurting the battery. So the colonel just called me one day. He said, Chesson, I don't care how you do it. Get this man off the roster. I said, what? He said, I don't care. I said, I will have to travel. He said, I don't care. What? One of the greatest adventures I had. I traveled all through southern Bavaria to every military post. I had a JAG office. I had to meet with the JAG officers. I met with all the majors. All my fares were paid for by the unit. I got per diem. I used to enjoy my trip. That's why I used to make money. When I gotta go, I said, Colonel, I gotta go. He said, go. He signed up. I jump on the train. I go. I go to Stuttgart and Bakenburg, or all the funny names they had. I went to Mannheim, where they got a military prison, and I spoke with all the people over there. That's a different world, man. The military prison era, Mannheim. I went up there. I met with the JAG officers. I went to Stuttgart. I went to different places in Germany. Wherever they had a military base with a JAG office and a well-sustained JAG office, I had to go there to talk with the JAG officers because what was happening had never been done before. So all of us, with me, they set up a committee, a legal committee in the Army. In southern Germany, they set up a committee, and all of us met. They were all lawyers except me. I was the only law clerk in that meeting with my colonel. We sat in that meeting and we devised a strategy of how to get this soldier off the roster. And that strategy became a standing strategy for the whole of southern Bavaria. All the military units started using it to get people off their roster. So for that, I set up that whole system, all the lawyers together to do this. They commended me for it. When the commander, when I was leaving, the commander wanted to give me another medal that was less. I said, Colonel, didn't I serve you well? He said, yeah. I said, why not the commendation medal? He looked at me. He said, get the hell out of my office. I ran out of your office. Then he called the personnel. He said, see what we can do to get Chesson the commendation medal. And he hung up. And that medal doesn't come from my unit. It comes from higher up. They had to go to brigade. We were a regiment. They had to go to brigade to give me the medal. And the medal came because I was the only law clerk for the entire regiment. I alone was doing the work of 3 men. I was never behind. My work was always on time. Even I did court martials, everything. I had to type everything myself. I stayed up nights typing court martial because everything is verbatim. You got to type everything the people say verbatim. And I had to type all of that. I had to take it to all the different judges to proofread and make their corrections and give it back to me. And I had to do it again. And I had to take it to the chief judge. He had to read it, make his correction, give it back to me. I had to correct it, and they finalized it. So I did like 2 court martials. I did umpteen numbers of disciplinary reports. Oh, I was doing that, but every day I was doing 10 or more. So it was a different experience. When I left the military and came into civilian life, there was nothing in civilian life that I had not experienced in the military. There was nothing. Nothing. All the racist behaviors, all the insults to foreigners, I experienced everything in the military. Everything. And I overcome it. So when people do it to me in the street, I just look at them and they think I just coming. Most of the people in Rhode Island had never seen me because when I came, I didn't stay long in Rhode Island. I stayed 6 months here. I went straight to the military and stayed 3 years. Then I went to Pittsburgh to school and stayed another 3 years in the military too. I was on reserve status. I was in Pittsburgh before I came back to Rhode Island. So people just thought I came straight from Africa into Rhode Island. So all the racist things they were doing, I just sit and just laugh and look at them. I said, look at them. And some of them, the things would make me mad. It couldn't make me mad because I had dealt with it. My colonel had helped me overcome all those things. So I just look at some of them, all the things they did. They didn't know that I served in the military. Even one of my close friends, he did do some racist things to me and things like that. I told him the other day, I never talk. My wife said, why you didn't tell him? I said, no, because people think they're smart. He doesn't know that I've been there and done that. What he did to me, I know what he did to me. He think I don't know. He think I came from Africa, I'm blind, and what he did to me is above my understanding. But he doesn't know. I understand it. But I don't care about him because he's below my integrity. He's below it. So one day he pissed me off. And I told him, I said, you did so and so to me. I said, you think I didn't know it? I said, you try to embarrass me. I said, but I didn't have time for it. I said, I've been through that. I said, you know who I am? I said, do you know I was the AD camp to the colonel of the United States Army? You know what that means? I was his aide. He didn't go nowhere without me. If I can reach that far in the United States Army, you think the little thing you're doing that anything to me? But the people in Rhode Island don't know me. They don't know my service to this country and what power I had in the Army. I had a lot of power. Every report the colonel did, I was standing right by the colonel. You know how many people I got off the hook? Because either they deserved to get off the hook and the colonel didn't know, I remember there was one incident where there was this good soldier. She was a good soldier, a girl. I always admired her. She was in another unit of girls. They were right next to us. And I always watched her. She was always sharp. When they marched, she was always leading the brigade. I just used to admire her. And something happened in her family. You know, news spread. And I heard people talking about her family, how something happened with her father, and that had impacted her life. It had caused her discipline. She had lost her bearings because of that. She was acting bad. She was doing unnecessary things, causing problems in the unit and all of that. So they disciplined her, and I had to write her discipline. So after I did her discipline, I took the discipline to the colonel, and the colonel, I gave it to him, you know. After I gave him all the discipline, he was looking through them. He usually went through them with me. So he was looking through them. So I said, Colonel, this girl got a lot of problems. He said, what do you mean? Then I told him everything. I said, Colonel, she was a good soldier. I used to admire her. But then I guess her father had some incident and it impacted her negative. And since then, it been bothering her. A bearing drop, a discipline drop, and all of that. Do you know that that man gave that girl a break? He didn't punish her. Tears came to my eyes, man, when I think about it. Said, he didn't punish the girl. He gave her a break. Give her help. She didn't know I did it though, but she never knew because I didn't tell her. You know, I just heard that. He just told me, he said, I cut her some slack. I said, okay, thank you, Colonel. And that was it, man. But this is part one of my experience in America, okay? So my next class, maybe tomorrow or day after, I will conclude because there are certain things we need to learn. After I left the army, you know, how to live in this country, some of the things you need to know because don't think because you're educated, you come to this country, everything will be laid out for you. Everything not laid out for you. That's when you are challenged because everything in this country is competition. People see you with education, they think you're a threat. You know, I lost my job, everything because of that. They fired me because of that. People thought I was a threat because of my education. So don't think because you're educated, when you come to the country, everything open to you. No. Everything in this country about money. Money, money, money. Education is a determining factor of you making a lot of money. And people will hate you for it. People will fight you. People will try to destroy you because you're a threat to them making money too. Okay? So take heed and cover yourselves accordingly. My hour is up. Tomorrow, I will conclude this topic because I think it's necessary that some people learn my experiences in this country because my experiences are a challenge to many people. Aluta. Continua. Have a good day. Jesus Christ lives. If it wasn't for Jesus Christ, my enemies would have destroyed me long, long, long time ago. Everywhere I turn, they have tried to destroy me, but they can't make it. Okay? Jesus Christ is real. Aluta. Continua. Believe. Have a good day, my people. Thank you for watching.